we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars lost in just personal property, never mind the damage to their homes here. Now, we've been talking to the people on Babbitt Court about whether they're frustrated that nothing has been done here. And I got to tell you, everyone just keeps telling me that they're just happy that everyone got out of this safely and that no one was killed. More than 24 hours after this fire got started, this remains a very active scene. Investigators are here trying to figure out how this all got started. An environmental group is here cleaning up, and firefighters are back watching for hotspots. And the seismologists here at Lamont Doherty, they study earthquakes that occur all throughout the world. Well, today they actually felt those same tremors that so many people felt here in the Hudson Valley. Other news now, the federal government says former New York State Senator Pedro Espada Jr. is at it again. Tonight, we are bringing you a live debate in the race for the 18th Congressional District. That meeting is set to get underway shortly here at SUNY Purchase inside the Performing Arts Center. But this morning, it was Westchester business owners and leaders who got a one-on-one with state officials regarding the new Tappan Zee Bridge. Those state officials say this project is well underway. Now, the family of the Peekskill cabbie killed is vowing to make sure his two alleged killers get what they deserve. This is the house right behind me. It's a daycare by day. There were 8 kids inside at the time when police say a man with a gun ran in there. Of course, the fear was that there could have been a hostage situation, but it ended much differently. So the office workers were basically telling us that they saw that package come out with the hazmat team and it was taken away. They were all allowed back inside. But at this time, Westchester County Police have not told us exactly what was found or why it was deemed suspicious. We're in New Rochelle. Tim Cassidy, News 12. Brian, back to you. Well, Suzanne, you can see behind me what remains of the Sullivan family home. It is the rubble that investigators have been sifting through for the past 5 weeks, trying to determine exactly what caused it. They know now what caused it. It was the ash from a cigarette. We spoke to people who live near here, and they say just when they thought this story couldn't get any more tragic, it does.
Yes, very sad, very, very sad, you know, for the family.
Carmel residents mourning once again after learning last month's house fire that killed Larchmont Police Captain Thomas Sullivan. His wife and 2 daughters was accidentally started by the sole survivor, 20-year-old Thomas Sullivan Jr.
I don't know how he's ever going to recover from that. Yeah, that's sad, really sad.
Carmel Police and Putnam County fire investigators revealed Thursday the deadly fire was started by ash from a cigarette onto a mulch bed.
I can tell you that the young man was in shock.
Thomas Jr. told police he went out onto the front porch to have a cigarette between 9 and 10 p.m. He then went to bed. The ash from the cigarette apparently smoldered in the mulch unnoticed for hours.
As the night went on, we know that it got windier. It added more fresh air to the fire, and it moved it along the side of the house.
The 911 call came in at 1:45 a.m. Thomas Jr. awoke to his father screaming that there was a fire and he led him outside. But when his dad went back in for the others, none of them made it out alive. Back at the scene, flowers now sit on the edge of the driveway that once led to the house. It remains surrounded by a chain link fence. Ash from a cigarette flicked into mulch, a deadly mistake the 20-year-old will have to live with for the rest of his life.
We would ask everyone to have compassion and show support for Thomas Sullivan Jr. and his family as they grieve and try to bring closure to this terrible tragedy.
Now, there were questions about the materials used to build this house because it burned so quickly, but investigators say it was built to code. As for the smoke alarms, the investigators say they still don't know whether they went off or not. Thomas Jr. tells them he doesn't recall hearing them go off. They may never know whether they went off or not. As for the 20-year-old, as you heard, this was all just a tragic accident. No charges expected to be filed. We're in Carmel tonight. Tim Cassidy, News 12. Suzanne, back to you. Things really got out of control after those Muslim women were told that they could not get on certain rides here at Rye Playland with those head scarves on. We've got video of the fight where some say police just went too far. A brawl between police and Muslim Americans here at Rye Playland. This cell phone video taken Tuesday afternoon when it broke out. Some say county police overreacted, subduing a woman.
And then he grabbed her by the hijab. I don't know if you know the word was min hijab, and he slammed her down. And then it was like about 10 cops jumping above her, and she must get hurt.
Ali Al-Jazali, who took the cell phone video, says several other people were also taken down abruptly by police. About 3,000 members of the Muslim American Society of New York were at the Westchester County-run amusement park celebrating the end of Ramadan. Some of the women, however, became upset when they were told they could not go on certain rides with their headscarves on, also called hijabs. They weren't singled out. It's a broad policy here at Playland.
Headgear means anything from a baseball cap to any sort of religious piece that somebody may be wearing. They're not allowed on various rides for safety reasons.
The women, however, were offered a refund, but a fight between about 4 or 5 Muslims broke out.
2 girls were fighting, right?
Girls were fighting?
Yeah. And then, we other girls, they don't want to let this happen. So it's a holiday. So they tried to separate them. They came, like bunch of girls, and then the cops came. The cops thought that they were all fighting each other, and then they took all the girls.
When police tried to break up the fight, 2 park rangers were injured and taken to the hospital. A call went out for all hands on deck, and a swarm of police from 8 different departments descended on the amusement park, some in riot gear.
As a precautionary measure, we call for mutual aid assets from other county police officers and some of the local police departments to stand by in case they were needed.
12 Muslim men and 3 Muslim women were arrested. Some are calling for calm among the Muslim population.
This thing got out of control. Got out of control for all sides, and hence we're here. Or else if it didn't get out of control and everything was under control, we wouldn't be here. And there wouldn't be people who are just being released from prison as we speak.
Now, most of the people that were arrested are facing misdemeanors, but 2 are facing felonies. They're the ones accused of hurting those 2 park rangers. Now, the deputy parks commissioner says that he told the person who was in charge of setting this day up for the Muslim American Society of New York about this headgear policy. But they say that obviously that message did not reach everyone. We're at Rye Playland. Tim Cassidy, News 12. Suzanne, back to you in the studio.
Oh my God! Oh, my friend is back! Now say, who is it?
There is a lot of excitement in this New Rochelle home.
Hello, Elvis.
It's all because Elvis is back.
You have no idea how much I've missed this bird.
On a Sunday in July, Gloria Ehrlich's husband put the bird cage outside to clean, and the parrot, a Hans macaw, flew the coop.
It took a second for my eye to spot that the cage was open. And from there, I burst into tears. I was really, really devastated.
Gloria put the word out about Elvis, who, despite his namesake, doesn't sing Blue Suede Shoes or Burning Love. Rather, he sings Italian songs, sometimes meows, and even laughs.
He was going,
But for 2 months, no word from Elvis. Until this week, when Gloria stopped by the New Rochelle Humane Society, Elvis had just been dropped off.
I just went into tears because I just couldn't believe it. It just was like, you got to be kidding me.
Did he come right to you?
Yeah.
Elvis had flown to Dobbs Ferry, landed on a woman's shoulder, and was turned in.
Elvis's big adventure.
Sure, Elvis can talk, but he's staying silent about some things.
Tell me the truth. Did you have anybody else's pasta?
We may never know the answer to that, but what we do know is his bird buddy BB is pretty happy he's back.
All right.
And so is his human companion.
I'm totally captivated.
Hello, Elvis. As you can see, Elvis is pretty psyched to be back home. He's really talking now. And this family says they're going to make sure Elvis no longer leaves the building. In New Rochelle, Tim Cassidy, News 12. Hello, Elvis.
You have got to love that story.